Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2019 with the Rude Man. I am back on Yogi. A couple days ago, I did a live stream on Yogi, just a couple hours, and we had a lot of fun. And I got some work done, but I didn't get enough done because field number 17 is huge. Anyway, I was trying to sell some eggs, and I found a problem. Also, in between episodes, I've done some modding. Let me run around the farm. I want to get some equipment running here, and then we can chat a little bit. This big bud has to get working. Get this field plowed so I can get some seed on it. This guy needs to go to town, but we'll get him later. Okay, I fixed this. If you remember in the live stream, if you watched it, it is up on YouTube. So if you want to watch the live stream, you're welcome to. I got a new version of the map. It's version 2, and I had modded the map so that the holy water well would fill a tank at a normal rate. Instead of, you'd start it filling, and 2 or 3 farm days later, you might have a tank of water. So I fixed that. As you can see, the tank is full. Then, let's see. I was working on the gold mine a little bit. Here. I went to sell the eggs. Now, I still have to work on my mod, my sell point mod, but I don't think it's my sell point mod that's the problem. Now, watch what happens. It would not unload these cages. And so I had to restart the game. When I restarted the game, and let me put my super strength on. If I pick this up, it empties the cage. And as you see, I just got paid $6,000 for the eggs. It won't sell from the trailer, and it won't sell just by setting them on here. Isn't that strange? It may be the cages. Now, this isn't too bad doing it this way. It isn't too bad. Let me get these out where the truck can pick them up again. Taking them off the truck like that is not too big a pain. As you can see, here the egg thing is trying to transport it in between cages, which is crazy. And it was doing that on the truck too. So I don't know whether it's, I think it's a combination of this map and this mod, the egg crate mod. And I'm debating whether to use them or not. What I was thinking about doing was actually selling them. And then I thought, well, no, don't sell them. Let's just not use them and see what the regular boxes of eggs sell, how they sell. Oh, shoot. Whoa! I must have kicked it. Here, get up. There you go. Alright, let's grab... Why did that happen? See what I mean? They're trying to transport amongst each other. Got one left, and then we can move on. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll put these on the truck. Come on. I'll put these on the truck, and then I just won't use them, and I'll see how the others sell, if they sell okay or not. Like I say, I don't know whether it's the map mod or the mod or a combination of the two or what's going on, but it's just kind of a little bit of an inconvenience is all. It's not like I sell eggs every day. Let's turn the quicker picker-upper on here and drive by these things. Should pick them up okay. I got it set to pallets, and these are our pallets, so... Alright, it's got them on. Let's put the... And this is the funny part, too. You notice the straps? They don't go over them, but sometimes they do. But they're not now. But sometimes they do. Crazy. All right, we'll get this guy back and then we'll move on. So I did some modding on the cedars. If you remember, if you watched the live stream, I was discussing the fact that Field 17 is so big that when I was doing the lime on it, I had to take the equipment back to the farm every 5 minutes because it would run out of lime. They're just so big. And it's going to be the same thing when I go to seed. So what I did was I went in and I modified a seeder that I don't normally use. It's called the Great Plains one. I don't normally use it, but it works like the John Deere in that it spreads out, and then when it spreads back in, it follows the tractor very, very easily. It's not real wide, in other words. So you don't have to worry about having narrow roads or exits and entrances to your farm being a problem, that kind of thing. Let me just park this guy for a minute. We'll come back to the eggs in a minute. Eggs are not a big deal. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let's get around. Oh, I modded that one too. So this one's been modded to hold a whole lot more. So that when it's on 17, I'm going to use the equipment that I'm modding to hold a whole hell of a lot more. I'm only doing it for Field 17. And as I mentioned in the live stream, there's two ways to do it. Let's take a seeder. You can mod the seeder or any other piece of equipment so that it doesn't use very much product. Because if you look at the mod itself, you can see that you can change the amount that it actually uses on the field. So you could take that down to like 1, the variable 1, and it'll do the whole field and hardly use any seed or whatever it is, fertilizer, whatever you're doing. That's one way to do it. To me, that's a lot of cheating because you're not spending any money. You can fill your tank up and use it for 3 months and never run out. Okay, so the other way to do it is to just increase the amount that it actually holds. So let's say it holds 1,000 tons or whatever the unit is that it's holding, and you change that to 100,000. You're paying for 100,000, so you're still paying for what you're using. It's still costing you money, but you don't have to stop and refill it so often. So it's less times running back to the farm to refill the piece of equipment. To me, it's cheating only in the fact that in real life, that piece of equipment couldn't hold that much product. Right? But on the other hand, you're paying the same amount. You're paying for what you're using. It's just saving you time running back and forth to the farm. So what I've done, and I don't want to do that with all my equipment, so I left the John Deeres alone. They're the ones I use on a normal basis. And all I did was modify a Great Plains seeder that I'm going to use on Field 17 so I don't have to keep filling it up every 5 minutes. Now, that being said, I need to purchase another tractor. I should have bought the tractor on the plow. I just leased it. But I'm going to buy another tractor, so let's see here. I don't know. I'll just get a big bud, I guess. Just get another big bud. And it doesn't need all the wheels on it. Let's leave it like that for now. I can always change that later. I'll always modify it. All right, now let's go to the seeders. Not the planters, but the seeders. And that's where I've got this Great Plains one that I modified. Right here. And when I went to modify this, I had to modify the crops because it only did a few crops. This mod was only to do the regular crops. It didn't do corn. It didn't do onions. It didn't do any of that stuff. So I modded it. And I found out that this map has asparagus on it, which none of my seeders would do. So I had to go to the John Deere's and modify them to do asparagus. And when I did, I found out that they weren't modified to do cabbage or red cabbage. So I've completely modified all of those to do everything I could think of. But we're going to buy this. What's this? Trailer type. 3-point. I'm just going to go with that because I don't know if the I don't think the Big Bud has a 3-point hitch. But we're going to buy this. All right. There we go. There we go. Now I haven't used this for a while. This mod, actually I haven't used the mod at all. Uh-oh. I still have my super strength on. Let's turn that off. Let's get into Big Bud. Yeah, see, that doesn't look like it's got a 3-point hitch, so... Now, the only thing with the Great Plains is you notice it's not as wide as the John Deere, which might be a problem. But I like the John Deere, and I didn't want to modify it up like that. Yeah, it's not as wide. But the fact that I don't have to pull it in every 5 minutes to reload it is going to save me a hell of a lot of time, so... Alright, so that's done. Might have to get more than one of them, though. Put one on each end of that field, otherwise it's going to take forever. Right, let's move along. What else was I doing? Let's get this guy back over to the monastery. I was making herbicide and I needed water. So we'll get back there with this. Man, I'm spending money like crazy. I'm down to 12 million now. I should probably stop that truck. That money that's running up, if you look up in the right-hand corner, you'll see I've got money running out of my wallet like crazy. That's the money I'm spending on at the quarry for limestone. Yeah, I should probably grab that truck and move it on. I got old 48 up there working on the limestone. By the way, I hope that my microphone is okay today. During the live stream, there was something weird with my microphone. It was like, well, it sounded. Somebody said it sounded like I was in a barrel. It didn't actually sound like I was in a barrel to me. What it sounded like is that I was talking in a room with the door closed, and you couldn't hear me through the door. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like my mic was way, way away from me. And so what I would have had to do was shut the stream down to fix it, because I didn't know what the problem was, for one thing. I had messed around with the equipment that I use and the software that I use for live streaming, because I haven't live streamed forever. And so I went to do a live stream and found out that my software was all out of date. There were things updated, things added. I had to change some equipment around. It was just a pain. And I might have done something to my mic, but I didn't know what. And so I asked everybody, well, you know, how bad is it? Are you going to stop listening? Is it that bad? Is it going to ruin the live stream? Most everybody said, nah, we can suffer through it if you want to just keep going. So that's what I chose to do. So I've got a 2-hour live stream where the audio just isn't very good. I'm hoping it's better. So we'll find out. As soon as I was done, I shut my system down, rewired a few things, started it back up, and did a audio test. And the recording sounded okay, so I think I fixed it, but we'll find out when I get this thing edited. All right. Let's let that go and move along. Let me stop that. That truck that's eating my money up here. Come on, Chevy, let me in. Chevy won't let me in. What's going on? There we go. I guess I had to be lined up with the door. So let's stop this and move it. We're going to make some lime out of the limestone. All right. And then I don't think I've got anything in here, so I'm going to leave this for the time being. I don't think there's a lot of lime in there yet. I have to wait for all that limestone to get ground up, and then we'll move back and haul that to the farm. Let's get this equipment that I'm now done with out of the way. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I did. This is leased equipment here, so I'm going to get rid of it. Oh, it's full of lime. Darn it, it's full of lime. Wonder if I can dump it. I can dump it. Okay, it's empty now. I gotta pick all that up. Funny. Jeez, this tractor's terrible. I'm not doing that, by the way. I am slightly trying to steer. And when I do, it just goes absolutely crazy. All right, we're going to go to the garage and turn this stuff in. I may have to buy another limer, but I don't want to do it right now. Leased items. Here's the leased items. So let's send that back. And then we'll send that back. Alright. Back. Get back. Another thing that I need to do. Let's see. I just have to keep in mind that it's going to take me forever to do field 17. So I've got other things that I need to do, and I can't just sit there and do just 17. So I'll just work at it while I can here and get the other stuff done. I've got manure piling up on the animal farm. I've got sugar beets up the wazoo that I need to take care of. And I'm going to use the train to do that. So let's see, I need to get up to the first car, punch that, and head to potatoes. See, I didn't realize that we had cabbage and red cabbage. I thought that was lettuce. Now the lettuce looks a lot different. The lettuce icon is kind of cartoonish. There's the asparagus. I didn't realize that we had asparagus on this farm. There's the lettuce. If you just looked at that icon, you wouldn't know what the hell that was. It looks like a couple of, I don't know what it looks like 4 footballs sitting there on a table or something. But I didn't realize that was lettuce. Hey, we got flour in here. Not a lot, but some. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back to sugar. I don't have a lot of sugar, so I'm going to haul some of these to the sugar factory. Sugar beets. Start overloading. Oh, how come it didn't? Oh, it is loading. Never mind. I'm blind. Okay. I don't want to sit here and watch this load, so let's move on and we'll just keep coming back to it. Because I got other stuff to do. I need to start... Oh, wait a minute. I need to verify what I did in the live stream. All right, this field is planted with tobacco. It's fertilized 100% and has no weeds. That's what we want to see. This one has lettuce. It's growing 100%. No weeds. This one is growing its onions 100% and no weeds. All right, the next field is hops. They're growing 100%, no weeds. And then we got this little field on the end. I think I put potatoes. Right. Okay, potatoes are growing 100%, no weeds. I got field 9 yet that I don't remember if I did anything to. And of course I've got field 11 that I need to decide. I was going to do the whole field in canola, but here's what I'm thinking about now. I'm thinking about doing one side, maybe some cabbage, and then some red cabbage, and then down here, you know, in other words, splitting the field up and doing different crops on it. Because this field is huge. It's just huge. Can you imagine if I did it all in canola, what would happen? Ah, this one needs to be worked. But it doesn't need to be plowed, and it doesn't need to be limed. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try the new seeder to make sure it's working okay. I mean, I could go ahead and take the John Deere out, but I want to try the new one and see how it's working. So, let's see what we got to do. We're going to grab some seeds first. And then this one, I don't know if this one takes liquid fertilizer or solid fertilizer. I'm assuming it's liquid because there's tanks on the end. But never assume. Makes an ass out of you and me, as they say. Fertilizer? What? This is seeds. I want seeds. What's going on? Oh, that's not right. I wonder if I have to open them up. I opened them up this time. There we go. All right. Now that kind of leads me to think that maybe that's not liquid fertilizer, that it's going to be solid fertilizer. All right, this is going to take a while. If you notice, I'm only 10%. Let's move along, and we'll come back. Did that stop? Sugar beets. Start. It stopped on me. Why did it do that? It shouldn't do that just because I left. Are you kidding? I'm going to have to sit here and wait till that fills up? Well, I like to talk, but not that much. I'm going to sit here in silence for 5 minutes. All right. Tell you what. Selling sugar beets is not a priority. I got $12 million. I'm not hurting for money. So that's going to be something we can do at another time. We used all of our potatoes. So we need more potatoes. But in the meantime, let's get the herbicide that we made so far and take it back to the farm. And we'll come back with potatoes. If I have any left. I didn't have a lot of potatoes. Actually, I think I had more than I thought I did. Seems like I spend half my time waiting for stuff to load. Oh, that was it. Got about a third of a tank load. So I got to come back with a whole crap load of potatoes. Which means I may have to grow more than what I've got on that little field. Bong. Bong. I got into a little trouble on Witcher series. As you guys know that are watching The Witcher and stuff, there's romantic stuff that happens, and it's got some pretty graphic. Nudity is one thing, but it's actually got some shall I say, sexual acts that are pretty graphic. And I left them in because it's part of the game, right? I'm no prude, but I don't necessarily agree with gratuitous things. And so I don't like bad language unless there's a reason for it. Sex is natural. Everybody does it or would like to do it. I'm not that prudish. Language is different for me. I don't see a need for it. There's plenty of words out there that you can use to express yourself without saying the F word every 5 seconds. And there are some people that do. Listen to some YouTube pages. There's people out there that use the F word like 7 times in a 10-word sentence. And to me, that's just not necessary. I don't understand, why you would feel the need to use that kind of language like that. So language is different for me. Even though I'm not really a prude in my mind, I don't really care for explicit language unless there's a reason for it. If somebody's angry or somebody hit their thumb with a hammer, that's a reason to scream out an expletive, if you know what I mean. But anyway, getting back to The Witcher, I left it in because it's part of the game. And man, I got slammed. So, normally, I don't think Google pays attention to poor little old Rudy's YouTube page. I don't have a ton of subscribers. I'm just a little small potatoes. And I don't think they actually notice. Now, there's a difference between them noticing it and an algorithm catching something, right? So, anyway, I had to go in and edit the video. I took the explicit sexual part out. I left a little bit of the nudity. And even so, they still said that it wasn't approved for advertising. So, I guess people out there don't have sex that buy products or something, I guess. Now, why is this full? Why am I not getting all the seeds I need? Maybe I used all the seeds that it had. I did! Oh boy. Alright, I need to make some more seeds. So anyway, I had two recent, two in a row, actually, Witcher videos that got hit for that they weren't appropriate for advertising to go on. So the other one I don't know, because I didn't see any nudity in it. You never know. There might have been some bad language they didn't like. You know, sometimes it's the thumbnail you put on it that they don't like. And sometimes it's the title. If you say something in a title, like if you say, let's say you're playing Fallout 4 and you find a rocket launcher, and you say, today we find a big gun. Oh boy, you put the word gun in there, and all of a sudden, you know, you get hit hard. So, I've had that happen to me where I've had to go in there. I've had it happen on farming. You guys all know what rape is. It's canola, right? Well, I used the word in the description, not in the description, in the title, I think. I said, today we're gonna harvest a field of rape. Oh, geez. I got knocked around on that one. I had to go in there and change it to canola. All right, let's go get another load, because I'm going to need a lot of seeds. Which reminds me, I need to grow a grain crop, or I won't have any seeds. I'll have to buy them. That's not a problem. I can do that. I left the silos in over there. But there's no reason for me not to grow some crops that I can make seeds from. I'm not going to get another load. I forgot to look to see how much was actually in there. This is going to be the end of the barley. I won't be able to make beer, but tell you what, on field 11, I'll put some wheat and some barley on there. That might be what I do. I don't know of anything else I actually need to grow. I was going to grow some asparagus and some cabbage and stuff like that, but I don't need to. So maybe I'll just take half the field and seed it with barley, seed the other half in wheat, and then field number 9 needs to be seeded, so maybe I'll seed it with canola for fuel. Although I'm not using a whole lot of fuel. Well, I am. So maybe I should make some more fuel. I haven't done tobacco yet either. Let's see if I've got enough in there made already now for that cedar. Where is the cedar? Oh, look at the poo. During the live stream, I had that cleaned out a little bit. Now it's filling up again. I need to get over and collect that poo up. Is this guy full yet? Not even. There's some lime for you. Fill that up. There we go. Let's see if I've got any more seeds. I do. That should be enough to fill it. And I need to make sure I change this. We're going to do canola on field 9. All right, 93%, 94, 95, getting there, getting there. There we go. Let's close that up. So that's where the seeds go. Where does the fertilizer go? Is there a tank in the... Where would be... Where's the fertilizer go? Huh. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. It goes somewhere. It's one of those mysteries of life. Like when you're playing Skyrim and he pulls a big sword out. Where was the sword? You know what I mean? Where'd you carry that? Because there was nothing on your back. Okay. I'm thinking this takes... It takes dry fertilizer. I think. I don't think it takes liquid. Let's find out. I'm gonna just spam the load button. Yeah, I think that takes dry fertilizer. Although, you know what that means? That means I'm going to have to spread the herbicides separately. So that's okay, I guess. This is not... I'm going to have to think this through. I might have to swap out and use the John Deere after all for field 11 and use this one on the smaller fields. Might have to. But what that means is I'm going to have to use one of these guys over here to throw the herbicide on. If I do. Gosh, I'm going to have to think this through. Let's not make any rash decisions. I'm not ready to seed yet anyway. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Is I'm going to go back in and maybe remod this one to be normal. And mod the John Deere's to be... hold more. If you know what I mean. Doesn't mean I can't use the John Deere's because there's 3 models. I've got 3 models. I don't have to use the bigger John Deere. I can use the smaller ones. And I don't think I modded them up. Well, I haven't modded that one up either. Yet. Did I use all my fertilizer? Good Lord. I did. But that's enough. I'll go with that. I gotta use this now. I gotta use it now because I put all that damn canola seed in there. I don't want to dump that on the ground. Oh well, we'll make it work. I still don't know where the fertilizer went. Unless it goes in the same tank. No. That looks like all seed to me. Oh well. Alright, here we go. Get that seeded up. Oh, did that finally get full? Not yet. Alright, it's at 90%. Okay, it's full. Let's switch to the next car. Start the engine. Go forward a little bit. And start it loading. And move on. We'll see how it does. Okay, this guy's ready. Make some more seeds. Slow down, Nelly. Oh, I gotta get these. Whoops. I gotta get these guys off the field before they get run over. My. That poor tractor gets so dirty. So this is the lime spreader that I actually own. I leased the other one. I should have bought it. I'm going to have another one anyway. I remember I've got lime sitting out on the ground over here. I should pick it up. And I might boost the size of these a little bit. I don't need to now because I'm done with this field and I won't have to lime it again for a while. So I'll just leave it alone for now. But eventually I might have to pump this thing up a little bit. Pull up alongside this stuff here and start pumping it in. This tractor's so sweet. It sounds really good and it drives good, it pulls good. It's a very sweet tractor. The only problem with it gets real dirty real fast. Now you can adjust that in the game. I don't know if you knew that or not. But in the controls, you can go in and adjust the dirtiness. I can't remember which one it is. Let's see, it's not that. Measuring units, all that good stuff. Dirt is on normal, the speed at which your machinery becomes dirty. You can change it there, but I'm pretty sure that whoever wrote that mod has set that to get really dirty, because it gets really dirty really fast. I suppose I could go in and look at it, see what he's got it set at. If you remember, that one mower I had was the same way. It really got dirty fast. Alrighty. Well, it's 99% full. I'm going to leave it at that. And my time is up for the day, so I'm going to end the episode here. I hope you had fun. If you did, give it a like. Share it with a friend, because YouTube is not sharing my videos anymore. So I'm not being recommended to others. I don't know why. So they don't recommend me anymore like they used to, and they're not sharing videos. So my only hope is that you guys share my videos with people you like, I guess. Anyway, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you again in the next episode or live stream. Hope you had fun. Bye-bye for now.